Have you guys heard of the Israel Adesanya and Jon Jones Trash Talk between each other recently? I personally think Israel Adesanya crossed the line once he mentioned Jon Jones' mother, who actually passed away. And Asher and Darrel from the MMA Brothers pod and myself go into depth on this topic, amongst other crazy trending topics in the MMA world today. So make sure to stick around for the full episode because you won't want to miss it.
Okay, what's going on, guys? It's the Dark Horse MMA Podcast. I'm with the MMA Brothers, Asher and Darrel. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go over some trending topics that are going over right now. I'm just gonna jump right into it with the Jon Jones Trash Talk. So I'll just get your opinions right off the bat. What do you guys think of all that's going on right now?
I think it's absolutely hilarious because Izzy pretends like he's 10 years younger than Jon when he's like 2 years younger than Jon.
He calls him a
boomer and all that. I think Izzy's trash talk is absolutely hilarious on Instagram and on Twitter because Jon Jones wants to fight Izzy right now while he doesn't have as much experience, and then he's gonna like beat the living crap out of him. But the more fights Izzy has, the more confident in the octagon that he looks, and it looks even scarier for Jon because if Jon can't take him down. Yeah, if Jon can't take him down, Jon's fucked. So
that's what I was saying. I was just watching Daniel Cormier and Ariel Helwani like shoot the shit with that topic, and like DC's going with Izzy in that fight. I'm like, ooh man, this is that's a curious like prediction just because Jon hasn't looked the best in his last like couple fights, with Dom and all that shit. So it's interesting to see. And then Izzy, he only has a 4-inch reach over Izzy compared to like these other guys. He's usually like towering over them. They're the same height. So it's interesting with that. But one thing I even like posted like a little clip of myself talking about this on Twitter was when they were bringing up the parents. Did you guys see that stuff? Like Jon bringing up Izzy's dad,
I thought Izzy went a little bit too low with that bill, man.
That's
I do remember something. He said something about like your mom would be disappointed. Am I reaching or I can't remember.
He was like it was kind of like what would your mom Jon said what would your dad say then and then he kind of switched the topic with like your mom would be disappointed with you, and I didn't know. I read that, I saw that, I was like, oh, they're just like whatever chirping each other about their each other's parents, and then I didn't know that his mom passed away, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's so fucked up. But something I didn't know, I don't know if you guys know this, that DC was saying that Jones was when they were fighting, he was like saying, I'm your daddy and shit, and DC's dad got like murdered when he was younger, and I didn't know that. So when that first happened, he reached out to Dana and like to arrange like a call for him to apologize, and then for like I think into like their second fight he said it again, so he said it knowing about that. So it's kind of, Jones is like, you were the same guy, you were saying the same shit, so you gotta take it too. If you can't just dish it. You got to be able to take it too, even though it's completely crossing the line. Like I think, like religion, race, just like, I don't know, just common sense things you don't bring up, like fucking
family.
Family. Yeah, absolutely, family. Like just when it comes to trash talk, for me personally, like say whatever you want to about me, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? But like for like loved ones and race and all that stuff, it just like that's just too far. Like I don't know for you guys how you felt, but with the Conor Khabib press conference.
Oh yeah, Conor went way too far with the shit that he said it.
After that, I felt so dirty. I'm like, I have to fucking take a shower or something. It's just it was too much. I'm like, man, it's just like too far. I'm like, it wasn't the same. It was just like bad energy with that. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, especially with no crowd too. The fact that there was no like response from the crowd and Conor just going at it. Like you'd think if there was a crowd, you'd be feeding off of
it's
that.
It's just like the dead silence, and everyone just like
everybody's like, okay, this is hella awkward. Yeah. No, but also reminds me when McGregor also said about Eddie Alvarez, like he's like, I'm gonna beat you up so bad your kids won't recognize you, something like that. And I was just like, I think that one rubbed off Eddie really hard because I remember listening to another. It's just like, I want to mess this dude up. He talked about my kids, blah 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 and stuff. So the whole Jon Jones thing though, with calling him daddy, like plenty of fighters have always said that. Like, so I always never took it as something deep.
Yeah.
But like you said, with Cormier's dad being murdered, and I know he has like a stepdad, right? Or I don't know if he's still alive. Maybe I think he passed away as well. But still, like one of those things, like, yo, I'm your daddy. Those are the common insults that you hear, right? But like, yeah, with the Izzy one talking about his mom, that one was a little bit that one like there's no gray area. You know what I'm saying? So like, people say I'm mom or whatever. Like he deliberately said that, right? So
that was. Yeah, I don't fuck with that kind of stuff. That like, I'm a big Izzy fan. Like, I love Izzy. I love his fighting style. I love that he roasts people with all the memes and everything. It's like he's like perfect for like the younger demographic for like the UFC fans. But then I see that, I'm like, oh my god, man! Like I was just like starting to love you so much, especially after you freaking starched Costa.
Oh, I was calling for that, man. You don't understand. Everyone was on Pilo's nuts, and I said, guys, he can't fight.
This juice said turkey, man. This juice said turkey. He can't fight.
Like he's alligator armed. All he throws are hooks.
T-Rex arm.
Like, yeah, it's just Izzy's not gonna get hit by him. And I think he landed 1 or 2 strikes the whole fight.
He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. Oh. And I said, yeah, I don't know why. Like for some reason, I thought it was gonna be like a 5th round head kick KO. That's what I thought. I don't know why. And then I was watching it with my buddy. And the fight started. He looked at me. He's like, "There's no chance this goes to the 5th round." I'm like, "Yeah, I completely goofed on that fucking prediction." I'm like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Wow, that's bad. That was a bad one." But whatever, fuck.
Yeah. What do you think about
it? Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, you know, Izzy has been out here saying like, "Oh, yeah, I'm sitting up for the bullies. If you've been bullied before at work, school, whatever."
Yeah.
You. But then, like after, he just can't stop talking about Costa, bro. Like literally, it's been like more than a week. The guy's still posting memes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, man, like we get it. You
won, just
like,
gifs of him humping
dude, like you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I love that.
I was like, did this guy actually just hump him? I'm like, what is happening? It was so funny. Yeah, and he just completely outclassed him too. Then. Yeah, and I was surprised too when that first happened with Costa. I was just like I was surprised Costa didn't fucking come up and like started like get into his face after he did that, because he literally violated him, and then he found out after, I guess, because he was a little dizzy after getting starched with that left hook or whatever it was. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Costa definitely disappointed a lot of people. I know a lot of people that were betting on Costa to win, and then
all over Twitter, everyone was talking. Everyone was betting big on Costa. I was like, you guys are crazy. I'll take your money. Like what?
Yeah, I actually bet the TKO win for Izzy. So
nice.
Was it like 3 times my money or something? So
yeah.
Darrell should be joining back in a little bit.
Yeah, I think he froze. That's okay.
Yeah, but who you got? So in terms of Izzy and Jones, who are you picking to win that one?
Honestly, I'm leaning towards Izzy now. I'm very leaning towards Izzy. I think I was gonna say he's younger, but he's fucking like 6 months younger. No, he's actually like 2 years younger. But like, I really like Izzy in that fight just because of his footwork. I think he has the experience fighting the heavier guys too with kickboxing, regardless of what skill level they're at. He's used to cracking guys and eating punches because he's obviously been hit by heavier guys. And Jones is on the decline too lately. He's not looking as impressive as he used to. He's kind of playing it safe. And I honestly think that fight's going to be, I think that fight's going to be a chess match. I don't think it's going to be really exciting for like the common fan. I think it's going to remind me of like a Darren Till, like Steven Thompson kind of fight, where it's kind of just both fighters are very careful because Jones doesn't really push the pressure on his opponents, and Izzy doesn't do the same. So I think it's going to be a kind of a waiting game. The guys are just going to exchange leg kicks, but I don't know. I feel like Izzy's going to outpoint him or something. I don't know. I don't think he's going to finish him, but I don't know. I see it going Izzy's way though, which is kind of controversial, but whatever.
Yeah, I actually see. I don't know if I see it going Izzy's way because I feel like Jones would want to just take it to the ground. I don't think Jones would want to stand.
That's a big factor.
Yeah, I don't think Jones is gonna want to stand with Izzy too long. But you're right in terms of like a fight. It wouldn't be exciting. It wouldn't be like a Jones Gustafsson or like a Adesanya fight. No way. Yeah. Izzy is a counter striker, and he's gonna be waiting for Jones to throw, and then pretty much he's just gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be a shitty fight to watch unless Jones takes it to the ground and pounds him, which is what I think he would try to do because Jones is the bigger fighter, right?
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, what about the Weidman Weidman Adesanya stuff.
This guy's taking too many shots to the head if he thinks he's gonna fucking beat Izzy. He's crazy. I gotta love it, but I don't know what this guy's thinking with he wins one fight over some Russian guy. I don't know what his record is, but he lost like 4 in a row. I don't know. He literally has no. I have a better chance of beating Izzy than he does because he's completely out of it. I don't know. I don't know what that guy's thinking. He's just probably just trying to get his name out there like so many other fighters, but I don't know. Like he's just playing the marketing game, I feel like.
Yeah, to me, when I heard Weidman say that, and like I forget the reasoning that he had with saying why he would beat Izzy. The funny thing is, I actually don't think he's that crazy because Weidman is so wrestling heavy in his fights, even though he looked terrible against the Russian dude. I forget his name, and it was first win in like God, I think like 4 years, 3-4 years, right?
Wow.
And the thing is, when Weidman loses, he gets like viciously KO'd. It's not like, oh, I just lost a decision. Like they're always really, really bad. So. I can see how Weidman thinks he can beat Adesanya, but Adesanya's wrestling just keeps getting better and better and better, and it's like getting harder to take him down. So if Chris can't get the takedown, then what is he going to do? Strike with Adesanya? Hell no. Adesanya's just going to KO this guy within a round or two, and it'll be over.
Starch that man. Yeah. And especially like with his camp too, is his team. They drill like takedown defense against the cage like heavy. I don't know if you've seen like his training camp videos, but no, they even have like a belt for whoever wins or whoever stays stuffs the most takedowns or something like that. But yeah, no, I think hopefully Izzy's footwork would outwork Jones's when he shoots in. So maybe he can catch him or something on the way in. But yeah, no. I think Weidman just. I don't even know how. Do you know how old Weidman is too? I don't even know how old
Weidman,
that guy is.
I think he's like 36, maybe. He's getting up there in age.
Okay, yeah. So he is getting up there. Let's see how old this guy is. 36. Yeah, right on the dot. Look at that. But yeah, no, like that guy's he's on the way out. I don't really know what this guy's saying, but yeah, man. So let's go into the McGregor beef with Dana, and then like him and his next opponent or wherever that may be. So what'd you make of all that stuff that was going
on? Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, McGregor actually does piss me off a lot. Like this whole thing about, oh, I'm retired, I'm not retired. Like you're out here tweeting that like, oh, I'm done with MMA, but then you're DMing Dana like, yo, hook me up with a fight and like do all this stuff. Yeah. And then Dana goes out there and says Conor is retired, but then Conor gets mad that like, oh, why did you say I'm retired when I'm not retired? And it's like, dude, like just make up your mind. What do you want? You know? I kind of understand Dana has also been like, I guess maybe holding back holding back McGregor to say like, hey man, like I don't know if it makes a lot of sense for you to be fighting right now, like the pandemic, we may not make as much money, just kind of like
fans
stay active. Exactly.
Yeah, without fans it'd be weird.
Yeah.
No.
So, I kind of understand why like Dana's been pushing, just waiting, like, you know, just wait till later in the year. But McGregor obviously believes he can beat anyone. So he's like, I just want to get another dub right now. So I get both sides and why it's causing a little bit of like a headache between the two. But I'm not vibing with McGregor lately. Like just, I don't know, over the last year or so, he's just been pissing me off with everything, you know?
Yeah. What do you think about him like leaking the DMs too, with like breaking the bro code, as Dana White would say?
I thought those DMs were nothing. It just showed like McGregor was talking to him about a fight. What did he really?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, like he wasn't talking shit about Khabib or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I was so confused. I was read it. I was like, okay, like what's the bad part here? You know?
Yeah. And then he said he like the only reason he did that was because he was saying that Dana White actually was breaking the bro code because he was saying that Conor is denying all these fights and whatnot. And like if that's true, then I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't blame Conor for like putting it out there and showing like the fans that he's like he wants the fight. But oh my god, I got into like this fucking argument with some guy on Twitter about him fighting Diego Sanchez, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, that was like so stupid. That I don't know what. Like in Dublin, he's like, yeah, let's Diego in Dublin, that's gonna be a cracker. I'm like, that's the stupidest fight I've ever seen. And Dana, I love how Dana is like, if I put that fight on, I'd lose my promoter's license because it's so true. It's just like, it's such a, and like the way Diego looked in his last fight, like Diego's fucking, he's got
arthritis.
yeah, this guy's a weirdo. Like, I don't know what the fuck Conor wants to do. Like I thought Cerrone was kind of a ballsy move just to fight. I was kind of like, fuck, whatever. I want to see him fight regardless. And just because it was Cerrone, I'm like, okay, whatever. At least he's like a legend. But like, Diego sucks now. He's not the best fighter now. If it was him in like his prime, maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be a better fight. But still, it's just like, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But I really like the Dustin Poirier fight though. What do you think about that? The rematch.
Yeah, cool. That's dope. And like, yeah, I think the whole thing about, oh, let's fight charity without the UFC, I think that's illegal. I don't think he can do that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, these guys are under contract. Like, you can't just nothing to do with the UFC. Let's just have a spar. like what do you guys thinking? And then right after that, he threw him the offer for the fight. But yeah, like, I don't know what these guys are saying. That's and Dustin, Dustin accepted, so fuck, I don't know. I doubt. I was saying I don't think that fight's happening. I don't know why, but I don't see Conor fighting Dustin again for some reason. I just don't see him. I see him either doing boxing or fighting like Khabib or Gaethje or someone. It has to be like someone for like the belt.
Exactly. So the thing is, like, McGregor just keeps making noise, getting attention and stuff like that. But
he's an attention whore.
He's such an attention whore. And the thing is, like, Khabib and Gaethje are literally fighting like what, 2 weeks, like 2-3 weeks or less.
Something like that. Yeah, October 24th.
Exactly. So why not just wait until that winner, whoever wins that fight, then talk about booking a fight. Don't book a fight against Dustin Poirier, because let's just say Justin Gaethje wins. Because Justin Gaethje hates Conor McGregor, right? Let's just say he does Khabib, where like it's like, dude, why would you want to give Khabib a rematch? Yes, he's 28-0 or 28-1, but just like based on the way the fight went, kind of like the Tony Ferguson one, we don't want to see that rematch with Tony and Gaethje, right? It was one-sided.
Yeah.
So if Gaethje is able to do that with Khabib, then Conor would definitely have like a solid chance at fighting Gaethje.
A lot better. A lot of people are saying Conor's going to win that fight too.
Exactly, right? Because that fight would be in Conor's favor. Well, not in favor, more favorable to him than fighting Khabib. Because
then Khabib, they get smashed.
Yeah. So he's just gonna want to stand with him, and then it's just gonna be a stand-up battle with Gaethje and Khabib and Conor. So that makes more sense to me. Don't fight Poirier. Wait till see what happens here. Yes, people get mad and say Poirier is more deserving, or someone else, maybe Ferguson is more deserving, whoever it would be. But then I'm sure like Conor or Dana White is hoping that Gaethje wins so that Conor can get that next fight, because it's a hard sell to get Khabib and McGregor to fight again.
Yeah, even though that fight, just with both guys and like the history and all that kind of shit that's happened in the past, it would be a huge fight. But I don't know, like it does make a lot more sense for him to wait, as you said, for Dustin. That obviously does make a lot more sense because he just wants to get the title back, right? Yeah, and even Dana White was saying, which I thought was like such bullshit. I think he was just kind of like messing around with Conor, was that he was like, oh yeah, like the plan was to get Conor and Khabib to coach the Ultimate Fighter against each other. And I'm like, I don't see Khabib ever doing that. There's no chance. He doesn't even want to rematch Conor. And he was like, yeah, he was all for it until Conor was tweeting all the shit about boxing Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, what would boxing Manny Pacquiao have to do with pissing Khabib off more than talking about his religion and like saying his wife's like a towel and like just completely like crossing the line? Like what does that have to do with anything? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I thought that was just such bullshit.
And I'm like, Dana, I'm like, that makes zero sense. I'm like,
this guy really? Was trying so
Khabib
hard.
Was about to sign the contract. He's like, yeah, man, I'll do the Ultimate Fighter. Wait, Conor wants to box Pacquiao? Nah, bro, I can't sign this contract.
Nah, like what? What the fuck? It's so stupid.
I know.
Dana was just being so desperate, trying to like make Conor look bad, but that he just completely failed with that one. Like that was just dumb. But let's say McGregor and Poirier, that happens. Who would you have winning that one?
The thing is, I remember Dustin Poirier saying that the hardest hitter he's ever faced is Conor McGregor, right? Like no one has hit him as hard as Conor McGregor has. So Dustin Poirier has improved, like, man, I was going to say exponentially, but he's improved way more than he did from the first time they fought, right? Like if you saw his last fight against Dan Hooker, like the guy's a beast now.
Crazy.
So I don't know. The thing is,
just knowing the way that Dustin, he acknowledged the fact that Conor was just in his head, like living in his head rent free with that fight too. So I wonder if he's going to be able to take like those verbal jabs from Conor too going into that fight, because they're coming.
Exactly.
The B-head
Dustin
coming. He's Augusta Win. He's gonna do the chicken dance. Like, you know what I mean? Like those are coming. Those are coming.
Yeah, 100%. So, but yeah, just looking at how Poirier fought against Max Holloway, against Gaethje, against Dan Hooker, the only like real L he took recently is just against KHABIB, and in that fight,
that's a beat.
I don't know what Poirier. Yeah, I don't know what Poirier was. I didn't understand like what his game plan was, because like he wasn't really throwing anything, and like he just like looked like a totally different fighter in there. And then when he landed that one punch, that kind of like semi rocked KHABIB. Like the way he was finishing him, he was throwing these looping punches, and I'm like what the hell is he doing? I know,
like a street fight.
I know. I was like,
so slow.
I
watched that fight too.
TV.
Yeah,
I was screaming. I'm like, I was like, I don't know. Yo, this is definitely not Poirier that's fighting. I don't know who this guy is, but like, I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
Yeah, man. I don't know. He, like, I don't know. He just looked so terrified of getting taken down, and that's why like I'm loving Justin Gaethje going into that fight, because I know he's gonna put Khabib on the back step. So that's why. But Dustin was just terrified. He was petrified after he got taken down once. He's like, I can't get this guy off me in his corner. Like you could see his body language and the way he was talking to his cornerman after the first round, or I think first or second round, whatever it was. He was just saying, I can't get this fucker off me. Like, I don't know. Like you could just see it in his eyes that he basically gave up. But meanwhile, like if it's like Justin Gaethje, he's gonna be like, okay, coach, like what do I have to do? Like he's gonna find these ways. But Justin Gaethje and even something I kind of was upset about, not upset, but I just didn't really understand. Like when he locked in that rear naked choke, right away Dustin was tapping. Like they didn't even fall back on the mat. Like he was already tapping out. Like if he sinks that choke in on Justin Gaethje, he's gonna have to like break his neck for him to tap. Like you know what I mean? He's just gonna have to make him pass out unconscious. So that was something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And like something to also factor in is the way they reacted when they won the interim belt. Like Dustin Poirier was screaming. He was so excited, like, give me that belt. And then meanwhile, Dana White wrapped the belts around Gaethje and he fucking threw it off of himself. He's like, that's not the belt. I don't want that shit. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's cool to factor in with that kind of stuff too.
100%. They have completely two different mentalities, like the way they approach fighting. And you're right. Like literally, you're gonna have to kill Justin Gaethje in order for him to stop fighting. Like the guy, I feel like even if he's like half conscious, he's still throwing strikes. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't wait for this one. But what's the next one you had on your agenda?
It was Colby Covington and like Masvidal, or like who you think his next opponent would be.
Yeah. So, the thing is about Colby Covington, I know like he gets a lot of hate, but to be honest, I kind of low key enjoy like listening to his interviews.
I do too. Too.
Like I can't say that. Man. I'm like, bro, if I say that, people fucking hate me. But like, I see Submission Radio, Colby Covington. I'm like, yes, I want to watch this shit.
That's so funny. No, I can like. Obviously, it's the same thing. Like he crosses the line so many times, but like when he doesn't cross the line and he's like to Marty fucking fake snoozman, he's like you couldn't draw money with a white piece of paper and a green crayon. Like he has some fucking funny lines, this guy.
Yes,
and it's cool. Yeah. His story is like interesting too, because he was about to get cut from the UFC and he was on a winning streak. Like he was beating the shit out of guys. Like it wasn't the most exciting fight. But, and then they're like, yeah, we're going to cut you. And then that's why he like fucking was just trashing Brazil after he beat, who'd he beat? Maya? I think it was Maya in Brazil, I want to say. But yeah, no, it's just like I think the only thing that makes sense for his next fight is the Masvidal fight. But the only thing that kind of takes away from that is because that's not going to headline a pay-per-view, and Masvidal, I feel like, is only going to want that pay-per-view money, right? Because that's the way he is. He's all about making money right now. He doesn't really care so much for the belts. Like he talks about, he just wants to put his daughter through university and stuff, which from his last paycheck alone, I think he can put all of Mississauga through university. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. But I just feel like that makes the most sense. I don't know what else would. Like, I feel bad. Like, I want Leon Edwards to fight, but this guy's turning down every fight that's going towards him. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I do feel like the UFC has offered him fights, but like I don't know if he's saying no.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening because like he's on a 7-fight win streak, maybe 8, whatever it is. But yeah, in terms of Kobe's next opponent, like yeah, he could fight Edwards next. Kobe's made it open. He said, "I'm willing to fight anyone." It doesn't look like he's gonna get a title shot anytime soon because the whole Burns thing has been postponed now. So I don't think Kobe Covington is going to be on the shelf for like 6-7 months against Woodley. He looked great. He didn't really take any damage. Woodley, that's a totally different story. But yeah, I think Kobe Masvidal would be dope. I feel like they're both healthy and ready to go. So I know he wants to fight Nate Diaz for the BMF belt, a rematch. I don't know. I literally have zero interest in that fight again.
Zero interest, especially the way it happened last time.
Yeah, people are like, nah, Nate can turn it on in the 4th and 5th rounds. I'm like, dude, Nate like was getting dropped like every single round. And I know he's Iron like the Terminator, like he can just take as much punishment forward, but like I have no interest in seeing that. It wasn't competitive at all,
So I made a breakdown for that fight, and he was saying in his post-fight interview too, he was like, oh, like I hurt my knee, so I wasn't able to train like the last 2 weeks, and he couldn't for his training. He said that he likes to do like these and if he is making an excuse, Nate Diaz, that's why I'm like, I feel like Nate Diaz doesn't really make excuses, but if that's like an excuse, I'm like that like fucking is such like a turn off from being his fan. But he was saying that he wasn't able to do his like long distance marathon training that he loves to do, so that's why he didn't push the pace and like right away like he normally does. But no, that fight just doesn't. I don't. And another thing is like the way it ended too for a BMF title. Like it was that was a shitty way to end. So I don't know. They could kind of utilize that to try to market it, but like at the end of the day, a lot of the fans don't want to see that at all. But I don't know, like the only thing that makes sense, like I have the rankings up here, like Leon's 3rd, Masvidal's 4th, Thompson's 5th, and Covington's 1st. So I think the fight that sells the most is obviously the Masvidal Covington. Who would you have winning that fight? That's a good question.
I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't think Masvidal has like the greatest takedown defense, and Kobe is really, really good at his wrestling. In terms of on the feet, I feel like it's kind of comparable. Kobe's stand-up is actually really good. It's improved from what it used to be. Masvidal's stand-up is very slick. Like he's good with his boxing and his kicks and stuff that. So on the feet, I can see it being very competitive, but like that wrestling thing is where it kind of like changes things for me, right? Because if Kobe's able to take Masvidal down, then it's going to be a totally different fight. So can Masvidal knock out Kobe? Yes, he can. But like just from looking at how defensively sound he was against Woodley, and even at some points in the bout against Usman, I kind of want to favor Covington for that one. How about you?
Oh, I think Covington's gonna mop the floor with Masvidal, unfortunately.
Damn.
I think because dude, I've seen when Masvidal's like on the come up in the UFC, and they were trained wrestling together. Covington would beat the shit out of him. Like he would just take him down constantly. Like there was
you saw training videos of this?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube, dude. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'll find it and send you a link, dude. Yeah, for sure. It's like these old training videos of Masvidal. It's like I don't know what it is. It's some series they had, and Masvidal just fucking takes Covington takes Masvidal down like at will, like easily, like and just constantly. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And with his cardio too, Kobe has crazy cardio. There's no chance he keeps it on the feet because he has Covington has good striking on the feet. He doesn't have a lot of power. He's more volume. Meanwhile, Masvidal is like that fucking crazy. He has one punch KO power at that division. Ask Darren Till that. But yeah, no, I think I got Covington in that fight 100%. No doubt in my mind. Probably by decision. I don't because you can't really finish Masvidal too. Right.
Yeah. The thing is, Masvidal, I don't think he's been TKO'd, and like a lot of I know he has a lot of losses on his record, but a lot of those have actually been split decision losses.
That's why he fucking that's why he was like, I gotta knock these guys out and put them in the shadow realm. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was his whole thing. He went on that show and then came back like a changed man.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was a good one. Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, I would love to. I would personally love to see Masvidal win because it would be so cool to see him win a belt. But no, I don't see him winning that fight at all. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he knows that, and maybe he does want to take that fight too, because who knows how negotiations would go with that, because both guys aren't the easiest to deal with. But yeah, no, I got Covington by decision all day with that one for sure.
Nah, that was some good stuff. Obviously the UFC keeps rolling this Fight Island thing. One thing I will say about Fight Island is like I kind of don't like the promotion. I feel like it's just kind of like a whole marketing play. Like yes, I understand, like it's cool that like the fighters have a place where they can go internationally and fight because of this whole COVID situation. But this whole Fight Island, like we're at Fight Island, oh wow, crazy. I'm like really like just like the way they marketed the whole event, I assumed like it was gonna be something totally different. But I'm like, you guys
are like fighting on a beach, like in the sand.
Yeah, right? I know, right? I was so I'm like, bro, it's gonna be crazy. And then I'm like, oh, it's just like an octagon.
It's literally just just like, and it's not even an island. Like there's like a fucking stadium on it. It's like,
exactly, right?
Yeah, like I don't know. They marketed very well.
I have seen some of the promotion they've done, obviously, the press conferences outside, and you see like photos of like some of these fighters at the beach and stuff, like sipping on pina coladas, maybe not pina coladas, whatever they're sipping on, right? So like that's cool, but like I don't know, I just felt like I was sold something that wasn't true with the whole Fight Island thing, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, man, I completely feel you with that one though. Like, because I was so excited with it, like, who knows what it's gonna be or what it like. Everyone had this like these crazy speculations, and then I saw like, and they even had like the picture of the octagon on the beach, and they fucking just completely like just scammed all of us with that. Give credit to them though, like they did it, but whatever, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I get we have less than a minute right now, so we'll cut it. Asher, awesome meeting you, buddy. I wish Darrel was here. Shout out your Instagram right now, everywhere. Where can the audience find you?
Yeah, the audience, you can find us on Instagram at MMA Brothers Pod. You can find us on YouTube at MMA Brothers. So we do the same thing, previews, news, post-fight. You can find us if you're interested in that stuff. MMA Brothers Pod on Instagram.
So yeah, guys, definitely check out the MMA Brothers Pod on Instagram and YouTube for more of their content. And I know you guys are as excited as me for the KHABIB NURMAGOMEDOV versus Justin Gaethje fight. And because of that, definitely click right here to check out my breakdown and prediction. Shocking prediction on that fight. And I'll see you guys later.